Hi guys, Sullivan Owen here in Philadelphia. So I am happy to be sharing my finished holiday planters. I have been working on these over maybe around 8 days, so there's footage from different stages for both areas, but these are finally finished and I think they look beautiful. So let's take a look at them in the sun and then we'll circle back and see them with the lights on at dusk. Okay, so these are my Veridec rust Corten steel. They've rusted planters, and you can see they've got a few different elements in them. And here I can show you the design process. The elements are pretty simple. So we've got some incense cone cedar, a couple of assorted pine, the LED branches, a few pieces of red dogwood left over from the mantle project, some nandina with red berries from the mantle project, and then you can see I originally tried to put kale that I had probably since around Thanksgiving out in these, and then I went away for 4 days and came back and they looked really sad. So I pulled those out and grabbed these 3 colors of poinsettia at just Home Depot, and I think they look really pretty. I'm actually not a huge poinsettia fan because they're not good for cats, so we never have them in our house, but I was lucky to be at Home Depot when they were unpacking a new shipment of these. Were just the $6 6-inch can, and so I'm happy. They kind of have some pretty velvety leaves. They just look really pretty, and the nandina is kind of turning a little bit. So these look really pretty for a spot of color up front. I'm not usually a fan of bright red out in this landscape because everything's kind of cooler, but I thought that the 3 together looked really nice. And so I know that my style looks a little different than a lot of planter tutorials and designs that you would see online, but just to show you guys, I sketched things out, and this was the plan. But I do still follow the kind of thriller, filler, spiller, which if you're unfamiliar, it's kind of the 3 elements that one should consider when designing a container. But I tend to position them differently. So you can see in the sketch, I tend to divide the planter, which is a square cube. I sort of put a line through it on the diagonal, and I kind of design to that. And I tend to not design perfectly symmetrically, but I sort of created a high point. My thriller would be probably the dogwood twigs and the lip branches. My filler would be the evergreens. My spiller could be the cedar, or since I've kind of positioned the poinsettia forward, they're sort of spilling out too. So I do tend to think about the same design principles, but I think that it's more interesting to sort of play with the position. I think a traditional planter design, you might have done like a center piece with the branches maybe in the center and done something all around. And they do look pretty from all sides, but it's just a less traditional kind of position. And the only issue I'm having with these LED twig lights is that they're only wired together as a set of 3, and you can't gang them together. Like you can't, so the cord management is like really annoying. So I have got the front planters finished, and now I am working on, I don't know if it's really my front door planters or my whole front entry, but it just started raining. I've taken my gray pots from earlier in the season and put some faux Christmas trees that I had in them. And now I'm going to be working on an ornament design to kind of swirl up and around the porch. So I feel like I'm going to film this in like small sections because I am heading out of town for a project, and also just it takes a few days to get all those ornaments hung up. So today I was getting lights on the little trees, and I'm going to try to get the ornament supports. And then I did make some really cool ornament clusters with some C7 light strands. So I'm hoping to get those up tonight. And then to be continued. Hopefully I will get this all finished before this planter video has to go up. Although I guess, I'm in charge of that stuff, so I could change the date if I wanted to. But I have one big project to do on the front of our sunroom, and I would really like to get this done quickly so that I can carry on with that. And it just started pouring. Okay, so it's really raining, so we're not going to walk up front and look at the planters right now. I'm just gonna get my light supports up, and then I'll try to take a little footage before I head in for the night. Hopefully it stops raining soon. Let's take a closer look, because the lights are on, but it's full sun, but they look really sparkly and pretty, so you guys can see the colors. And then again, we'll come back tonight, and also you can see it's I don't know if you can hear, it's very windy today. And so if you would like to see how I do this, you can check out the ornament garland kind of tutorial. And this is just a whole lot of those wire strands of shatterproof ornaments. Like, I'm not sure how many, but I lost track. I did try to keep track. But yeah, I'm super happy with how it turned out. I think it's really, really magical and fun. And so far, the only person that's seen it are the Amazon and UPS and USPS delivery people. But it seems to make them happy. So let's take a closer look. Hopefully you can see all the colors, and I know you can see me reflected in some of them. The only colors I added this year were kind of this icy blue. There's a mercury icy blue, and it kind of this is a very pale green. It's kind of hard to see. And let's see. I'm looking for a solid in the green. I didn't get too many because here's one. Because these were the colors that were on sale from Vickerman, is where the shatterproof ornaments are from, and I have so many. I don't really need to add too many more. Oh, and I did add, you can see them up there, I added these clear iridescents, which were, I think I only got like a box of 50 of them, and I did them as sort of like single strands and constellations. I thought they looked pretty cool. The other thing that you will be able to see a little bit better is I got these C9 or C7 mercury glass bulbs also on sale, and I decided to work them into the ornament installation. So there's definitely a lot of wire going on in here. It's not completely flawless when you look up front, but this is also not a design that, unless you're me, you're really digging into. But I did really like how the iridescent clear looked, and also thought it was really cool to have this kind of suggestion of a lit ornament in there. So yeah, so I can put a list of the specific colors from Vickerman. You can see the design does wrap all the way around the porch. It's sort of, I think, here, let's look at the footage from when I was doing it. You can see what the support looked like. But I'm really happy with how it looks. There's the wreath from the wreath making video. And I actually still have one kale kicking around left over from the planter design that was here before. So I thought I would keep it till it stops looking good. It's not exactly the right color, but it does look kind of cool and interesting. So I like that you guys can see all the colors in the sunlight, but obviously we're going to come back and look at it at dusk because that's when it sort of comes to life. And I just have even using some sheet moss to kind of camouflage to keep this really solid, which I think I talked about in the ornament tutorial. But there are bricks and rocks and concrete in the planters to support the trees. Are artificial and very lightweight. And this all weighs a lot. So the mechanics, as I keep talking about, are really, really critical to keep this solid and keep it from falling over. When I popped the trees out here just temporarily, they blew over almost immediately. So it really is critical that you think about building a super solid foundation every step of the way. So that is where we're at. So we'll come back later and do dusk shots. Well, thank you guys for watching my holiday planter video. It's just like fun to hang out here, even though it's gotten really cold. I hope you enjoyed seeing the project. If you want to check out the ornament garland, I'll link to it below, and also I'll put it up in the if you want to watch it right after this, I'll put it up on the screen. If you want to see more holiday decor and what else I'm up to, please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell. New videos go up Mondays and Thursdays. And I put a list of all the colors and some resources down below for you. So you can come find me on Instagram at Sullivan_Owen. You can come tag me over there if you want to show me your holiday decor. And thanks so much. I am enjoying my holiday projects, and I hope you guys are too. Thanks. Bye.